Welcome back to another episode of No Man's Sky, and it's taking me a lot longer to get to this, to doing this episode than what I've wanted it to take, and I meant to do this a lot sooner, to be honest. I've at least been doing zombies episodes in the meantime, which actually I did. I was playing some zombies today and I was going to upload it, but it didn't record for some reason. I don't know why. Mainly this video, part of the reason I wanted to get it up sooner was, because I wanted to mention some of the things that I forgot to mention in the previous slew of videos I did. I uploaded a wave of videos and I forgot to mention a couple of things. So I wanted to get this up a lot sooner so I could mention those. But basically that wave of videos, I think I did the narration for the first one of that. I think the first one was video number 17. I'm not sure, but I did the narration, I think, really early in May. And then I did the rest of the narration, and I don't remember how many I uploaded. I think it was 4 or 5. I think maybe 4. Or 3. I actually don't know. But basically, I recorded the narration for the rest of them. I think we had the 18th. I think it was because it was pretty soon after the stock exchanges took pretty hefty dips, I do believe. So probably around the 18th. So, that being said, that would mean it's basically taken me almost 3 weeks to do the narration for this video, and also to get it, even edited, because I didn't even have it edited. Part of that is just because I had to move the files around, and that takes time, and I had to fix some stuff. And also because I'm using Windows Movie Maker, which I'm probably going to switch to something better soon, but basically things take forever with Movie Maker, so, but yeah, so because I'll be mentioning stuff that I tried to mention, this video might be kind of like, the narration, it might not be, really great flow, or, what I mean, but hopefully it won't be too bad. I will say I was pretty happy with the last slew of videos. Of the narration quality I thought was pretty on point. So I don't know, hopefully this one will be too, I guess. But the one thing I should mention with that is because like in that slew of videos I uploaded, I don't know, because there was such a gap between the first video I did narration for and the rest of them, which I all did at like basically the same time. In the first video and the second video, I talked about the same thing. And I even use some of the same like phrases that I don't normally use, and that wasn't really on purpose. That was maybe just a coincidence, or maybe something subconscious or whatever. But basically, yeah, I said the same thing in the first 2 videos, but I said it in a different way, so I left it and I figured it's different, but it's okay. Just gotta look and see what else I wanted to mention. Yeah, so in the slew of videos, like not the last wave of videos, but the wave before it, the narration quality kind of sucked, and I didn't want to redo it because I'm lazy. But and because it was, it is at least audible. But yeah, it kind of sucked, and part of that is because I'm sitting next to a really loud computer. Eventually, I'm going to build a new one. When I say eventually, like AKA when I stop being so incredibly poor, I'll build a new one, and I'll make sure I make it a lot quieter. That thing, creates a lot of static in my headset. Either that, or maybe if I can get some plexiglass or something, if that would make it a bit quieter, put it behind some plexiglass. I don't know. Yeah. Anyways, but in one of the videos of that wave, was the part of what I said turned to gibberish. It was kind of like one of the interviews Trump did, where every second word was unintelligible. But it actually turned to gibberish, and I don't know how that happened, because I didn't say gibberish, but whatever. Something else I was going to mention, so I was talking about kind of how American politicians don't always know the names of politicians from other countries, or they don't always pronounce it correct. I was just going to point out Sean Spicer, he has one of those funny names because his name is basically spelled scene, and I realize it's SEAN, and that's why it's Sean. But to me, it's kind of a fake out name, and it's mildly ironic that American politicians aren't always the best with names from people from other countries, and yet the press guy's name is a fake out name. Because if you said hello, Scene Spicer, except that it's pretty obvious that Scene's not a name. But in a way, I don't know, you wouldn't be entirely at fault for that. It's good. It is kind of a really spell it with the H and the W. Come on, it's my opinion at least. And I guess similarly, or in a similar vein, I was going to mention, I was talking about, Trump, and he's against Canadian softwood, and I guess he figures if it's not hard, it's not worth anything. I was going to mention that's a wee bit, because the whole thing is about, Canadian dairy and, wanting to put Canadian dairy in Canadian stores above other, dairy from other countries. And it's not exactly what the issue is. That's probably only about 70% correct, but it's a good overview, I guess. The whole thing is a little bit hypocritical, because isn't he doing the exact same thing in a way? Isn't he trying to put American products in American stores or something? I don't know, and then he gets upset when another country does the same thing. I don't know. It seems a little bit hypocritical, but moving on. And this is also kind of similar. I was going to talk about my tax returns because Trump won't talk about it, but I will. Basically, I did my taxes, and it turns out that in 2016, I was so poor that, basically, I didn't make enough money to, and also I was so generous to charities. It was both. It's not just that I'm incredibly poor, it's that and also my unbridled generosity. That basically it means that they gave me back all of my income tax that I paid throughout the year, except for 12 cents or 11 cents. I don't know, probably 11 cents. Or maybe 12. No, it doesn't matter. I don't know. The point is, around 10 cents. They gave me back everything but that. And when I say gave me back, I don't have it back yet. But, eventually I'll get it back, and that's pretty cool. So, I'm talking about my tax returns way faster than Trump is, even though he said he would, and then actually, I guess sort of brings me to my next point. I made this joke, and I thought of this joke, and it's about Trump, and no one got it except for one person, but he gets every joke I make. So I'm not too surprised by that. And basically the joke is, it's one of those hit the bar jokes. So, it'd be like Obama walked into a bar, Trump didn't, and the whole point of that is that Trump doesn't reach the bar, basically. That the bar was set, it was low, and Trump still didn't reach it, and therefore he doesn't walk into it. I think it's clever. You have to think about it. It's not like one you can instantly get, or at least that a lot of people don't instantly get. Or maybe I just hang out with idiots. Maybe I'm just always surrounded by dumb people. That could be very possible. I wonder what that would say about me. I wonder how that reflects on me. Like a person's personality, you can tell a little bit about it by the people he hangs out with. Also I wonder what that means. Anyhow, that's most of the things I wanted to mention. I don't really say anything else except I talked about Darksiders 3 a little bit, and the gameplay and what I thought of that. And I just wanted to mention, but I forgot, so I'm going to mention it now. About whether I'm going to buy it, and more specifically, will I pre-order, because I probably will buy it, but not pre-order. I probably will buy it once the price drops and goes on sale, because I'm not even going to buy definitive edition for a while, to be honest. So basically I want to pay less than $5 for the definitive edition, or else I don't really care enough to have it in my library. I have Darksiders 2 and pretty much all the DLC, yet not definitive edition. I have Darksiders 1, and then they plopped the War Mastered edition into my library, which I haven't played, but part of the reason I'm not going to pre-order Darksiders 3 is, guess what, this might be entirely obvious, because the first two games were utter crap in terms, I love the games, I think they're great, but they're so buggy and glitchy and unstable, and, you know, in Darksiders 1 I beat it, and actually I beat both of them, and I 100%ed at least the achievements for both of them, but then eventually I got everything. But like Darksiders 1, it took me, I had to do it, like I had to actually restart pretty close to the end because of how unstable it is. And Darksiders 2, I can't play any of the DLC because it doesn't work. You know? And apparently War Mastered is very good, but from what I've read, Definitive Edition is not an overly large improvement, and they've been, you know, and that's also by the creators' own admission. And I'm pretty sure the people who did Definitive are the same people doing Darksiders 3. But that's by the creators' own admission, because they are working on a patch for it that they've been working on since like it came out, basically. That's been taking them a while. Oh, and I'm just going to mention the video real quick, just as I'm watching and as I talk. I always love, and I probably mentioned it before, I always love the, you know, freaking you pull the specimen out of the little containment thing and then they like you more. I don't understand. I don't correlate how, or that is, I don't see the correlation between, you know, taking their stuff and them liking you more. If anything, it would have a, you know, there would be those two things would have a relationship where, you know, the increase in one would decrease the other. That is, the more you take their stuff, the less they like you. That's how I would think. But they don't have that after Pathfinder. In Pathfinder, you can't do that anymore. I just haven't found any facility with those research specimens anymore. Anyways, what was I saying? Yeah, so with Darksiders, right? And so, like, if even the Definitive Edition doesn't work so well, that doesn't inspire a lot of faith for me to go ahead and buy Darksiders 3 until I know if it works. Instead, you know, it's unfortunate. Sometimes games, you know, even on consoles, but especially for PC, you know, they just release all buggy and stuff, and sometimes they just don't get fixed. You know, and especially with Arkham Knight, and when Arkham Knight came out, my goodness, the comments, you could feel the livid hate in the comments that were made because of how bad it was. You kind of feel bad for the people who were trying to fix it, you know, and you know, but man, people are upset because it, you know, and I think the worst thing though is that they didn't bring it to Linux like they said they would. That was unfortunate. Like, don't say you're going to bring it to Linux when you're not able to. And I don't know what the reason was. I guess it would be too expensive or something. I can't think of what else it would be. But I mean, even with all the patches they did, you know, and I could run it from day one. Like, I never had a problem running it, but only on low settings. I don't think I can run it on anything better right now. I can run far better looking games on far higher settings. Not that it looks bad. It looks pretty good, but you know, some games look even better, and I can run them on higher settings. So, just saying. I wonder if there would be any application to offer official mod support, because I just mentioned, because some people, like, some games get a lot of work put into them by modders, like even more than the actual developers, basically. You know, and I don't mean, I don't say that, you know, I mean collectively, like all the modders, because obviously like a whole, you know, like hundreds of people creating mods, that's gonna, you know, amount to more work, you know, maybe like over time, like over many years. You know, or, you know, but I mean, even by one modder sometimes, like especially with Empire at War, or that is Star Wars Empire at War, you know, it seems like a couple of the mods, you know, the modders did actually more work than the developers. Although, mind you, and there's a couple I'm thinking of, like, you know, like that aren't even finished, like the Halo. Campaign Commander and then Rise of the Mandalorians, both by the same person, as it happens. But actually, I'm about out of time, so I'll have to leave that thought until the next video. Hope to see you then. If you like this video, please leave a like and have a great rest of your day.